Welcome to the Herstory Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Herstory TV and the Herstory podcast. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another amazing young woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Zizipho Dweba and I'm based in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm 25 years old. I am the founder of Mlimi platform and I'm currently an investment professional at Stonehage Fleming. So my story is very simple. I was a young girl who grew up in a town that is a bit less fortunate, and I've been surrounded by poverty most of my life. And I've always had this vision in my life where I want to learn how to help people who are poverty stricken with what they have and teach them how to become successful with what they have. And so I decided to study commerce and learn about business because I know that I need to help people in a form that's more entrepreneurial. And so we ended up, my partner and I, creating this beautiful platform called Mlimi, and where we are basically trying to help subsistence farmers become more national, and we also are trying to help some of our fruit and vegetable vendors who are struggling at the moment. I'm also an investment professional who is really passionate about creating a space for Black women in the investment space. As a result, because of that, I'm a part of the Association of Black Securities and Investment Professionals. And we work together in making sure that we bring opportunities to young Black females, males, such as through mentorship, through knowledge, resources, and also we host quite a few events which some of the students actually get access to knowledge directly from CEOs and very important and pivotal people in the investment industry. And my passion, honestly, just comes from just wanting to make space or create space on the table and just having people just know a lot more about how to get themselves out of a poverty-stricken place and into prosperity. I'm also someone who actually really enjoys making sure that I uplift people by any means that I can. I've learned that through uplifting others, you can also go very far in life. And as a result, I've been a part of the mentorship program with women in ETFs, where a lady who is in the industry has mentored me, trying to show me ways in which how I should actually navigate being a part of the investment industry. And now I'm also currently a part of Women in ETFs again, because I would like to continuously learn how to navigate myself in the investment industry, as well as eventually be that woman who actually mentors other women and creates a space for females in the investment industry. I'm also a person who genuinely is very, very interested in making sure that people have knowledge, access to knowledge, because I found that in my life, I had to really struggle in order to find out how to even learn about finances, how to learn about economics. I never knew, I never had the background or the kind of mentorship that I needed. So I've made sure that in my life that I try to be that person for other people.
Now, what fascinates me about your story is you and I went to the same university. I was a student
Yes.
at University of Western Cape. I know Cape Town really well. Which township in Cape Town were you coming from? A lot of my readers and a lot of my listeners are all over the world. They have no idea of the politics behind how South Africa was structured before apartheid and after apartheid. So tell us exactly where you were born and what that environment was like.
So I was actually born in East London. East London is a small town that's in the Eastern Cape. And for those who don't really understand the dynamics of Eastern Cape and South Africa, so the Eastern Cape is a place where it's predominantly or practically a village where most people don't have access to water, sanitation, electricity, proper healthcare, and some don't have much access to education. So I'm one of the lucky few people who were able to actually get out of that type of environment and get educated and learn more. And honestly, it's through education where I really just was able to just know that there's a bigger world out there. And through education still I'm learning that I can even go further. The dynamics of South Africa is that most young people who are Black do not have access to resources such as education or even financial resources to educate themselves. And there's a huge lack in knowledge, even about safe havens or initiatives that can actually uplift young Black people. There's a huge lack in access to resources in terms of just even mentorship programs or bursaries or any foundations that are actually put in place to help people. So I was one of the lucky few people who were able to just learn, study, and through studying and doing well in my education, ended up in UWC. And through just working hard and studying and really doing well in my education, I'm able to now be in the investment industry. And I've learned just the power of education and just hard work and going through adversity rather than just staying in adversity.
Now, education is definitely the key out of poverty. You know, I was born in Zimbabwe in a village with no electricity, no running water. When I came to UWC, I didn't have a scholarship. I came just before apartheid ended, and I financed my degree working at Green Market Square. I would make clothes that I would sell, African clothing, jewelry. And I was very fortunate that one of my lecturers, my business lecturer, was a new member of parliament in the new South African government. And she loved my designs. She ended up getting me into parliament, and I dressed a lot of parliamentarians in Cape Town. And that's what financed my business degree. So I can so relate to your story because I've walked that path myself and then eventually moved to New Zealand, successfully went into business, and the rest is history. Now, the other thing that fascinates me about your profile, which really attracted me to want to get to know you and find out what you're doing, is all of the work that you are doing in the women's empowerment space. Why is it important for us to put a focus on women? Why is empowering women a game changer, especially in developing countries?
Um, I have learned through just being a woman how difficult it is to just do the bare minimum. I found that there's a lot of preconceived ideas about females, that women are not smart, that women are not capable, that women only can go so far, the so-called glass ceiling. It actually exists. And it's through just being exposed to the industry, and also just being exposed through the different dynamics, especially in the countries such as South Africa, where unfortunately, not all the time, but most times, as a female, you're not taken seriously, especially if you're in the STEM type of field. And that drives me. It honestly makes me feel as if it's important for a person like me to actually create space, because it actually exists. There is a glass ceiling. There is something that keeps on holding women back from actually succeeding. And I feel as if a lot of women really aren't even given opportunities, such as just maybe teaching them or just exposing them to knowledge and information about how to get bursaries, how to get a good job, how to be professional, how to just simple things that I feel are usually catered for or given to male male people. And I feel as if, especially in this industry, it is very, very difficult to enter as a woman and even stay as a female. So I think it's just my job or my duty in life to just make sure that in any space I get into, that I open up as many doors as I can, just so that we can actually start seeing more females in positions of power, start seeing more females in decision-making spaces, because we are smart, we are capable, we are actually, we are able to do the necessary work that needs to be done. And I feel as if the fact that we are females and we are held back through just through many adversities is a problem. So I try my level best to just make sure that I can open up that space. It's really needed.
Now, you call yourself a diversity inclusion activist. Tell me, what does that mean? What do you do in your activism work to make sure that more women are brought to the table?
So, like I said, I am affiliated with APSIP, which is the Association of Black Securities and Investments Professionals. And this association was started simply because of how, unfortunately, in our previous years, the the investment industry, or just the financial services industry in general, did not have that many people of color in the actual industry, let alone in decision-making spaces. So I, through APSIP, have been given a great platform to just have access to speaking to people who are in high positions in the industry, and just having them find a way to actually educate younger people on how to actually enter the industry and how to stay in the industry, and also just how to navigate themselves in the industry. I also work along with a lot of companies, South African companies, in terms of they do sometimes send me, job vacancies, where I do give those or distribute those job vacancies to different students and young professionals, whereas most don't even know how to even get a job or navigate their way through interviews. And I've most recently worked with LinkedIn and Alan Gray in just trying to mold young students who are in their final year, just to show them how to actually make themselves more attractive on LinkedIn, as well as how to navigate themselves in a job interview. And that's how I do my little bit. I'm trying to give people the information that I needed when I was their age and in their position.
Fantastic. That is awesome. Now, I want to know more about your platform, Mulimi. What exactly do you do? What is that about?
So Mlimi started about 2 years ago with my fellow partners, Jonathan, Sudi Anzolini. And we basically went into an incubator, which was teaching us how to become entrepreneurs. And we found that there is a huge problem, especially in Cape Town, regarding the marketplace for farmers. We found that there is a lot of monopoly in the farming industry. So you find that people who are subsistence farmers or small scale farmers don't really have access to the market, even though they are able to produce at a larger scale. So we also realized that there is a huge problem with the fruit and vegetable vendors. They are unable to buy at the level that they would like to buy the vegetables or the fruits. And therefore, their profits aren't really as big as they would anticipate or would like them to be. We also found that they spend a lot of time traveling to and from the farm places, and it actually takes up a lot of time because they have to be there from 5 a.m. and there's long queues, and they don't really have that much time that they spend that time waiting in those queues trying to get the fruits and vegetables instead of spending that time actually selling the fruits and vegetables. So Mlimi Platform is a startup that we have decided to create, and we are still working on it, where we are basically trying to create an Uber for small-scale farmers and fruit and vegetable vendors, where we will be the middleman that will help them receive their fruits and vegetable orders whilst they are working, so they can concentrate on being the businessmen and women that they are.
Technology is amazing in how it can bridge that gap, help people be more efficient, work smart and not hard. So, are you looking for funding to build this platform? At what stage are you at right now?
We're definitely looking for funding to build this platform. We're still at our beginning stage. We've just recently created a model, and we are looking for any help whatsoever, whether it be mentorship or actual funding itself, just to help create this actual platform and further help fruit and vegetable vendors.
So, when I started to Google it, I saw an article of small scale farmers in Malawi. Is that the same product, the Mulimi digital wallet?
Oh no, that is a different product. However, we were inspired by the small scale farmers from Malawi, since we saw that they have a very similar problem like we do here in South Africa. So we were
Okay,
inspired by their platform.
fantastic. So, where do you see yourself 5, 10 years from now? What is your vision? What is your mission in terms of your life and your career?
So by vocation, I'm an investment analyst, and I genuinely would love to see myself as a CFA. In 5 to 10 years, I would love to be actually a fund manager. I believe that I have the capacity to not only invest for clients, but actually just manage a whole fund. And I see myself also just sitting around more females and having them be in decision-making spaces. I would like to actually be part of the people who create that platform or create more space where more females are in decision-making spaces, more females are actually fund managers, portfolio managers. And that's honestly where I see myself. I'm hoping to be one of those people who create that space.
I don't think our meeting is a mistake or by chance. I have been on the lookout to look for some young African women that I can mentor, that I can support. And I'm really excited that I found you through LinkedIn. I think there's going to be some magical things that will happen with you and us going forwards. So let me part with this. When you were starting on your journey, things were tough, things were not easy. If there is another young woman from a background like yours who's listening to this interview right now, if you could go back to the younger you and give yourself 3 nuggets of wisdom, something you would have wanted somebody to have told you at that time, what would those 3 nuggets of wisdom be?
If you're going through a storm, keep going. I think that sometimes when life is difficult, we tend to feel as if we can't go through it. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel as if that's something that I needed to hear when I was younger, that keep going through the storm. Eventually, it will be sunshine and rainbows. The second nugget of wisdom would be, you are who you think you are, actually. So if you think you are a good person, you are that person. If you think you are a smart person, you are that person. And keep pouring into yourself and understand that will eventually be the life that you live. And number 3 would be to never stop helping others. It's not going to stop your path or slow you down, or it's always important to make sure that you lift others while you rise, no matter what the circumstances are. I think those are the 3 things that I would tell myself, because those are the 3 things that have really shaped my life.
Fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute honor interviewing you tonight. Your story is truly, truly inspiring. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight. The Herstory Circle is attracting some phenomenal women from all walks of life, women who are game changers, who are trying to do the best for themselves while they lift others in the process. So tune in again tomorrow when I interview another amazing woman. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And thanks again for this interview. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Herstory Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Herstory Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.